Welcome back to Trucking and Politics, folks. I think maybe I've got all of my issues with the new computer lined out. If you watched my last video, you'll see that my sound and the video didn't match up just right. So hopefully I've got that corrected. I had my frames per second off a little bit, and the speaker settings was off too. It's a new computer. We're working through the little glitches with it, so hopefully we've got that resolved. Okay, in this video, I was wanting to talk about President Trump's historic landslide victory. That's big news. That's huge news. It is all over the news, all over the internet and Facebook, everywhere you look, all social media. So it's not just the fact that Trump won by a landslide. It is the fact that the Republicans got the Senate. They got control of the Senate. Not only did President Trump win the presidency by a landslide and the Senate was regained by the Republicans, they also regained control of the House. So what does this mean? This means basically whatever Trump wants to get done during these next 4 years, there should be no obstacles in his path. It should be everything in his favor. So, in this video, what I was wanting to talk about, since this is trucking and politics, what all this means for trucking and specifically in general. With this, what do you expect? What do you expect to get out of this? Well, increased rates for truckers, lower fuel cost, increased pay, more flexibilities of companies that you can choose to work for, a better path to having your own authority. All of these things are probably true. They are achievable, right? But what else? What else? Well, everything is looking very positive. Everything is looking extremely positive here. But we have to discuss something before we go into all of the positive things that are going to come out. Everyone is going to be celebrating. Everyone is going to be cheering on Trump. In this video, I want to bring out something that may have been overlooked or may get overlooked. The subject that I want to concentrate on this video with is illegals and immigrants in trucking. And you may say, well, what does that matter? They will have just as much of an opportunity as natural-born United States citizens. There's a problem with that. There's a big problem with that. First of all, Herrera Carriers has made some really good points on his channel. I'm a fan of his channel. I like his videos. I'm subscribed to him. And he has made some really good points about the effects of illegals and immigrants in trucking. You have to think, folks, the first question is why are they here? The second question is how did they get here? And those are some really, really big questions. First of all, the why. Why are they here? Well, that goes into a really long discussion. I'll make short work out of it. Is to drive the rates down. It is to drive the rates down, and it is to help companies obtain more profit for them. And you have to really slow down and think about it. Who is it going to benefit? With them being here, who is it going to benefit? Well, who does lower rates benefit? Brokers? Yes. Shippers? Yes. Big corporations? Yes. Big corporations in trucking? Yes. The federal government? Yes. And you say, wait. How does it help the federal government? Well, it's increased revenue for them. More taxes. The more workers you put in the workplace, the more taxes you collect as a government. You think they're not all connected? You're wrong. So the other question is how did they get here? Well, that's an easy question. That's an easy question. You go back to the first question. Of the why are they here, then you'll get the how. Everybody likes cheap things. Everyone does. If you had a store right down the road from your house that sold chicken for $7 a pound, and you had another store a mile away from your house that sold chicken for $3 a pound, don't you think you would drive the extra mile to get the cheaper chicken? That is the mentality that you have to think about with illegals and immigrants in trucking. They're going the extra mile to get the cheaper labor. They're going the extra mile to get the more profits. The thing that I worry about with the federal government is you're going to have a federal government that is fair and honest with the people that elect them. That is something that we usually don't get with the federal government. We get a lot of promises made, a lot of political stunts to get elected, and then once they get elected, it's abort. Let's go with plan B, which was our plan A to begin with. Hopefully Trump and hopefully the Senate and hopefully the House of Representatives will be honest with the American people this time. Hopefully they will. Hopefully they will. So you have this thing with trucking. Can a trucking company sponsor an immigrant? The EB-3 visa is a pathway to U.S. permanent residency for qualified truck drivers. U.S. employers and trucking companies can sponsor truck drivers' U.S. green cards through the EB-3 visa process. That's how they got here. Now that they're working, now that the federal government is collecting taxes off of them, now that the corporations have got their cheap labor, it's going to be almost impossible to get them out of trucking. Doing something is the hard part. Undoing something is almost impossible. What Trump and others are talking about when they're talking about a mass deportation is people that are jumping the border for nefarious reasons. They don't want to work. They don't want to produce anything. They don't want to pay taxes. They don't want to do anything legal. They want to do everything illegal. Now, those guys and women like that, they're probably going to be easy to get out of the country. The ones that are here under a sponsorship, a green card, they're going to be a lot harder to get out. Okay? And the other thing is, they will just have to keep themselves legal, and they will have to keep themselves employed. Okay? And the trucking companies that sponsored them here will have to stay in business. I know one hot spot for all of these is the Chicago area. Okay? Now, if you watch this channel for very long, you'll know that I put a video out not long ago about an illegal, what I'll consider as an illegal, that was making a delivery at a Kroger DC down in Georgia. He had a DOT number on the side of his truck. I ran the DOT number and it came back as inactive. And he was delivering product. A lot of people in the comments said, why didn't I report him? Well, when you come through a weigh scale, they scan everything on your truck. They can tell immediately if you're legal or not. It doesn't matter if I turn them in, because the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration is not doing its job. Or the illegals just bypass the scale. They see that the scale's open. They just keep going. Catch me. If you're here illegally, you have to think about this mentality, folks. If you're here illegally and you're working illegally and you have a truck that is illegally that is operating illegally under an illegal authority, why do you want to stop at the weigh scale and just stick your hands out and say, put the cuffs on me? You have to think about someone that is in the mindset of a person that wants to be illegal. Now, what's going to be interesting with all of this is to see if Trump appoints someone to the Department of Transportation, which oversees the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, and see if that person is going to put their feet to the fire and tell the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, do your job. Do your job. Now, a lot of people are going to get in trouble that are here, that are U.S. citizens, because there will be more inspections being done. There will be more paperwork inspections being done. There will be more thorough inspections being done. So you'll have to keep your equipment in tip-top shape. You will have to make sure that everything in your company is totally legitimate. Because if you go through the weigh scale and something is wrong, for sure you will get shut down, ticketed, or, put out of service for some reason. So you have to make sure that your ducks are in a row, so to speak. So the other thing about this is I'm interested in seeing what, generally speaking, Trump is going to do with the Department of Transportation and the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration because he made a comment that he was wanting to get rid of all of the rules and regulations that didn't have Senate approval in the last 20-something years. Do you guys have this book in your truck? You should. You should have it in your truck. What does it say? Safety regulations. This is a book by the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. A lot of the stuff in it is good. A lot of it is good information, and it's about the safe operation of commercial vehicles. But they are rules and regulations. They're not laws. I don't really have a problem with this book. Most of what is in this book, I don't really have a problem with it. It's just mostly common knowledge. What I do have a problem with is a little thing that the Federal Motor Carrier started up in the last 20 years called CSA. The CSA is not fair. It never has been fair. And has been called out many times for its unfairness. It gives the benefit to corporate trucking companies. The bigger your fleet is, the better off you are with CSA. And I can do a video about that later on, but that is something that the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration is going to have to address, in my opinion. That's where we as truck drivers come into play here. If you see someone operating illegally, if you see someone with an illegal authority, once Trump gets into office, you need to start making contact with someone to report this. I told a friend of mine the other day when I was talking to him, I still have the photo of the guy down at the Kroger DC that shows his DOT number. I didn't show it on this video or any video. The video I was referencing here, I didn't show it. Okay. Like I said, some commenters pointed out and said, well, you should have reported him. Well, does it do any good? Will it do any good to report it to a Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration or the DOT that is ran by the Biden administration that is flooding the country in with illegals? I mean, that's like stating the obvious. Hey, you have a guy over here operating a truck illegally. Their response to you probably will be is, I know. We paid for them to be here. Duh. So it's going to be up to us to push this stuff through, because as all of us know, truck drivers and trucking is usually last on any political agenda. They are overlooked. We are overlooked. We're pushed to the side, pushed to the back row. Oh, it's the truck drivers again. Oh, it's the trucking companies again. Who cares? Push them to the back. That's where we need to come out and voice what we see is wrong. Now, getting you prepared for this, I may get in trouble for what I plan on doing with YouTube. I plan on running people's DOT numbers. After Trump gets elected, after Trump gets into office, we'll see what Trump does. But I plan on running DOT numbers. Starting with this one that I saw down at the Kroger DC, I'm going to start posting the information that I see if a carrier is running an illegal DOT number, you will see it right here on this channel. Starting at the first of the year after Trump gets inaugurated, I am going to start posting that information. Starting with that one in Georgia. I will double check before I post it and show the information where the DOT number is active. And then I will start calling the federal motor carriers and the DOT, and I will start reporting these people. You need to stand behind me, and you need to do it as well. One person can't solve this problem. But if all of us stand together and all of us report these people like this, and I will show you how to do it. It's a very simple process to run somebody's DOT number to see if they're legal to operate in the United States. As far as these Chicago companies that keep pushing, wanting to hire people up there, that's easy. Just say no. They are flooding every media out there looking for drivers. They've already got so many illegals and immigrants working for them. They're wanting more. They're wanting more. I just saw a video today before I made this video. One of those companies up there screwed a driver over for over a month. He worked for that company for over a month and never received any kind of compensation. Every settlement that he got was a negative settlement. That company was Super Ego. If you are planning on going to work for that company, you need to be aware of that. I was joking with a friend of mine yesterday about that, and I was telling him I was going to work for Super Ego and I wanted him to come along with me. Thankfully, he got the joke and he didn't buy the bait and didn't think I was serious about it. It's really not a joking matter, folks. It's not a joking matter whatsoever. We need to stick together and we need to do the right thing, and we need to pressure our government to do the right thing. Hopefully they will. Hopefully they will. Hopefully Trump and his administration, hopefully they will select someone with very good knowledge about the DOT and put them in charge of the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, and we will see a massive change in trucking. If not, it's up to us. How did Trump get elected? How did the Republicans regain control of the Senate and the House? The people did that. So now it is up to the people to hold their feet to the fire. That's where we come in. That's where trucking and politics come in. And I would appreciate you being here with me and supporting this channel. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're trucking and politics, and we're just getting started. Thanks for watching.